So finally, the most awaited cell phone of 2018 has been launched, and after 1 week I was able to get my hands on the OnePlus 6. So how does it look right out of the box, and what are the initial impressions? Let's find out. My name is Saish Gavas. Welcome to the 8-Bit Goan. Sit back, relax and enjoy the show. So the OnePlus 6 is exclusively available on Amazon for now. We have two variants available. One is a 64 gigs with 6 GB of RAM. The other is at 128 gigs with 8 GB of RAM. In colors, we have two varieties. One is the mirror black and the second is the midnight black. The mirror black being a piano finish and the midnight black being a matte finish. For this video's sake, I have got a 128 gigs, 8 GB RAM, mirror black. So now let's go ahead with the unboxing. The packaging of OnePlus devices in the past have always been impressive, and this is no different considering the fact it is the flagship of 2018. In the box, we have the tightly fitted OnePlus 6 sitting right on top, nice and snug. Once we remove that out, we have a red packaging in which we have the case itself with the warranty card and some documentation. Once we get that out, we have the dash charger along with the iconic red USB Type-C cable. It's worth mentioning that even though this is a flagship device, there are no included headset or earphones in the box. The company may say that this is a way to reduce the overall cost of the cell phone itself, while consumers might think that since they are paying a premium price already, deserve a headphone at least. With that being said, I want to bring your attention to the free case which comes with the OnePlus 6. The case feels extremely well made, especially when you compare it with all the free cases we get with other flagship devices. It has all the necessary cutouts for the buttons and input and output, etc. It has sufficient padding on all the four edges, which makes sure that in case you happen to keep the phone facing the ground, which you should never by the way, it raises the display from the ground, so your screen is never touching the ground and there's no way it can get scratched, at least when you keep it like this, which is really good. Enter in the OnePlus 6. I want you guys to take a moment to really appreciate how well this phone looks and how well it is made. On the front, we have a 6.28 inches screen which is protected by Gorilla Glass 5. At the top, we have a cutout for the notch which houses the notification LED, the sensors, the earpiece and the 16 megapixel front-facing camera. At the bottom edge, we have the speaker grill, the USB Type-C port and the microphone in port. On the left edge, we have the SIM tray and the volume rocker. And on the right grille, we have the power button and the ever so useful alert slider. Now, I never use the alert slider that much, but once I realized how useful it is, it's a real lifesaver. Turning the phone to the back, we have a dual camera setup which is stacked vertically. We have two cameras, one is 16 megapixel, one is 20 megapixel. We have a dual LED flash and a fingerprint sensor, which is placed very nicely, and no matter how you hold the phone, you can reach it easily. Under this casing, we have an octa-core processor, 8 GB of RAM and 330 mAh battery. So next is the setup process. Now usually this part is skipped because I don't want you guys to sit through the boring setup procedure, entering the details, setting up accounts, etc. But in this case, it was surprisingly simple. Just take a look how fast it is to set up your phone from the first time till the time it is usable. This just goes to show that there are no unnecessary bloatwares installed in the operating system. OnePlus is always known for giving a very clean Android interface, and this is no different. The setup process was a breeze, and within a minute or two, I was using my phone without any kind of problem. In today's world, it's very difficult to find a phone which is simple, clean, without any gimmicks and unnecessary heavy widgets. It is plain, it is simple, and it just works. So 4 minutes into the video, we have finally powered on the OnePlus 6, and there are two things you're going to notice right out of the box once you power it on. One is a gorgeous display. It's a 1080p display having optic AMOLED. The colors are vibrant, it's not oversaturated, it's not very bright. It's not right in your face, it's just good to look at, very pleasant, very warm, and the text is crisp, the icons look really nice, it's super good to look at, okay? The second is this notch. So I have never used a phone with the notch, so I got to say that in the beginning it took me some time to get used to it, but after probably a day's time it had no problem. I had no problem using the phone. It in fact looked good. But if you're someone who really hates the notch, like this guy who uses some kind of saw to just cut open the notch because he doesn't like the notch on his iPhone, you don't have to do that on the OnePlus 6. You can disable it through the software itself. I'll just show that in a minute. So that's a really good thing by OnePlus, to give options to the users to use it with the notch or without the notch. That was fantastic, and I hope the rest of the companies, follow that path, because the way this notch thing is going, probably every cell phone manufacturer is going to go with the notch display. So let's have a look at the operating system. Since this phone is exclusively available on Amazon had their 3 applications installed on the software right out of the box, which can be uninstalled. The Amazon Kindle, the Amazon Prime Videos, and the Amazon Shopping application. All 3 are pre-installed, which can be installed. Other than that, there is no bloatware installed on this operating system. So the skin of OnePlus is as good as a native Android skin. It's without any gimmick, it's without any bloatware, no unnecessary applications, no unnecessary bloatware which cannot be uninstalled and eat up your space. So that is really good. Another kudos to OnePlus for doing a fantastic job on that front. Speaking about the camera, it's having a dual camera setup, 16 megapixel and 20 megapixel camera. I'm not going to talk much about the camera because I'm doing a complete review on the camera and the comparison with the S9 Plus. So most of the camera specifications and the details will be discussed on that video. But I got to say that it does take some good low light photos, which I'll show in a moment. But at the same time, when you turn it on the back side, I would like to say that even though this looks fantastic, the aluminum finish, right, the piano finish, it looks fantastic. It is a fingerprint magnet, so basically you have to use it with the case. No matter how good it looks, you cannot use the phone once it looks something like this with so many fingerprints and dust. So it is prone to fingerprints and micro scratches, even though it is protected by Gorilla Glass. So you just have to be careful on that front. The OnePlus is also known for their dash charger. So as it was advertised that it can give half a day of backup within 30 minutes, and it is true in a way. It charges up to I think 50% within half an hour, and I think more than 75 to 80% within 45 minutes of time. So it is fantastic because it charges really fast. So that is good on that front. Alright, so like I mentioned previously, that if you want, you can completely disable the notch through the software itself, which is fantastic because there are some people who might not like the notch but love the phone, and if there is no way to disable the notch, then they're stuck with the phone with the notch which they don't like. So you go into display and you have an option which says notch display. You go into notch display and now you have an option to show the notch area or hide the notch area. So if you hide the notch area, it just brings a black bar on top of your notification screen. If you show the notch area, it just gives you more real estate in terms of screen. So I will be doing a complete review on this phone very shortly. I'm working on the camera review and the camera comparison with the Samsung S9 Plus, and the results are pretty surprising if you ask me. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys like this video. From what I can see, for the price it is placed, it is a killer, but there are a few things which I would want to highlight in my next complete review of this phone. So please stay tuned for it. We have 89 subscribers as of now, and we are growing slowly by slowly, which is fantastic. Thank you all guys for all of your support and continuous viewership, and it is fantastic the way the channel has grown over the last 4 months. So thank you again guys. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know in the comment section what I need to improve on and what you guys want to see more. If you guys have any suggestion, let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is Sai signing out. Thank you so much for watching guys. Have a great day. Take care.